Okay, rulers, settle down. Ruler School is brought to you by Odyssey Games, where you can go to get pre-orders of all the upcoming Force of Will sets, as well as releases of previous sets after they come out. TCGprime.com with over 100,000 Force of Will singles, as well as out-of-print boxes from the past, and TCG accessories, as well as FowlLibrary.com, a wonderful resource for deck lists, article discussions, and more. Check them out at FowlLibrary.com, as well as these amazing patrons. Special thanks to guest lecturer members Fight Ramen and Shukong Fu. Thank you for your support. Class is in session. Hey there, rulers. DMO73 here, bringing you the deck profile for the Titor Deckout combo. Super fun. Pretty much playing solitaire. Understand that your locals might not be happy with you, but I will say that it is very vulnerable. It definitely can be answered pretty effectively. All you have to do is just kill Titor, which is like the one linchpin of the deck, and the deck doesn't have necessarily a ton of protection for it. It's just a matter of accelerant to be able to keep going. So if you can kill the Titor, keep the Titor off board, this deck's gonna go, hey, that was fun, and we had a good time. But it is a fun idea to see how many extra turns we can take in a row. Current high score for extra turns is 7. That I've taken in a row with this deck. So, you know, I'd be curious to see if you try it, if you can get higher than that. Stone base wise, I do want to say real quick, the real only reason we're playing Deus Ex is because we want to be able to order and we need to make things machines. Looking at the top card of the deck for this build means absolutely nothing, because we're drawing so many cards anyway that it's not a huge deal. That being said, stone base wise, we're playing 4 Magic Stone of the 6th stage, 2 Magic Stone of Knowledge, 3 Water Magic Stone, and 1 Ragnarok's Fiery Stone. We want to be able to flip and have will for Titor as fast as possible, so we need a heavy blue splash green base, and then also the ability to potentially call stone without having to keep getting stones without having to worry about tapping. So that's why we're playing this stone base. Certainly can get better in Wanderer. I think we go blue, just blue-green stones, which is much better. But that's the idea. And then we are, of course, playing a single copy of Knowledge from the Future in the sideboard because we get to reveal it and cast it for 1 blue, which is nice once the combo kind of gets off, or if someone tries to disrupt you, to be able to reestablish or dig for what you absolutely need. Going into the main deck, we're playing 4 Guinevere Spacetime Watcher, just for an early aggressor if we feel it, if we don't see the Titor, to be able to start kind of stacking stuff and setting things up that way. The other thing is, too, that we could use it to protect the Titor once he's ordered. Since you're taking these extra turns, Guinevere will just always be applying her attacks. I will say, though, that one of the things to note is if you're taking multiple extra turns with Titor, your opponent probably doesn't have an answer, so Guinevere is not really super important there, because if they don't have an answer, then they don't have an answer, or they're trying to save it. The one reason to still play it, though, is they might be trying to save their answer until you go to try to deck out, so then they try to kill the Titor there, and then you lose. And so using Guinevere's to kind of stack up to protect that late game drawing for winning the game, to protect the Titor can be helpful. 3 copies of Arthur Spacetime Knight, because it is a quick cast body. We can cast during the upkeep, helps us dig into new cards, and it also can be used if we need to with Guinevere to stack some stuff, which is nice. Obviously, 3 copies of Titor, Emissary from the Future, because we want to see him often enough, and having multiple copies means that if we need to do the combo in such a way that we kill our own Titor, we can immediately cast another Titor to take more extra turns. 4 copies of Violet, Flame of Providence Distortion. She is absolutely the linchpin for this deck. She draws through so many cards because you get such a huge hand and you just discard as much as you want, and then you draw that many cards, then trigger all those atoms. And if you discard 3 atoms that can all be the same atom, then you draw an extra card. Current high score for this deck is 12 cards. We discarded 9, we drew 12, because 2 of them were Everfrosts, and then Violet also drew us an extra card because one of the other ones was an atom. So you dig through so much of your deck so quick, which helps you find your combo pieces really, really well, so it lets you keep going pretty quickly. The other nice thing is she has quick cast, which is super relevant because sometimes, casting her after recovery or before recovery when you're kind of getting moving is really, really helpful. 4 copies of Deus Ex Enters, because it helps us find Violet, who's such a linchpin, and also can be used to pop our own Titor, which is important, because there will be turns where you don't have Knight of Knights, but you have the will to be able to play Titor to take an extra turn, and Deus Ex can pop your own Titor, so you can pop him, and then immediately cast the new one and take another turn after that. 4 copies of Light of the Unknown because it is an accelerant, because you don't have to have the card you name can already be in your hand, and you can just produce the will to be able to cast it. So this means that a Titor extra turn could only cost 3 as opposed to 4 to cast and then take the extra turn, which is nice. 4 copies of Knight of Knights, because this card is essentially pay blue, trigger Titor to pay a blue and take an extra turn. So you can, again, just take a bunch of extra turns in a row. 3, setting the Stage of Providence, because we're a combo deck, and so being able to have this uncancelable turn that's unchaseable with Deus Ex is very, very nice. And then the Atom package could certainly be shifted around. Currently, we have it as 3 Gradius, 4 Everfrost, 2 Dark Prominence, 2 Magical Loveliness, and 1 Aegis. Having played the deck a little bit more, I think the deck can actually just be 4 Gradius, 4 Everfrost, and 4 Eternal Wind to be able to recover your stones and make more additional plays in a single turn. That being said, we're currently playing these things so that we have some spot removal if necessary, if the combo's not still going off super well, and we have to kind of rely on Violet to make some plays. But that's just what you can do with it. Again, this list is very fun. Again, your locals might hate you because you're going to take so many extra turns in a row, but it is a neat idea. I look forward to trying Deus Ex without Titor in it, because I think that's a very different deck and still very fun. But let me know what you guys have been doing with the God from the Future Dimension. And until next time, this is DMO73 saying, class dismissed.